have
Pool party.
children, feel free to come to the meeting. We love kids. For anything that you need to do to get here, just come on, be here. But we are glad that all of you are here today. So we are going to start our meeting as we always do with a note of gratitude. Does anybody, can I get the words out, Twan? Does anybody have anything they're grateful for? Yes.
I'm grateful for Adam Soul
We all are. Yeah, tell us why you are grateful
for letting me host my first Roswell open house right across the street from here.
He said,
It's
right
it's
across.
right over here, yeah, right that way, that way. Happy to know.
It was the most successful open house I ever had.
Why do you
All
think?
right.
What did you do to me? It was
Um,
good.
It was like first,
Your humility is really out of him.
well, it just listed that weekend and he gave me the honors to.
That was a hot,
Yes.
good deal. Yes, good for you.
Did you get any buyers?
Yes, in the future though.
Okay, that's
And he was
fine.
I mean, we'll take buyers. That is wonderful. Does anybody else have? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Fabiola. Yes,
She just got like her license and she's been joining.
like just got her license. So, not that, so, but she's going to be, she's going to be joining us.
All right.
So thank you to Fabiola and thank you to Robin. You feel good, Robin? You should. You should. Don't be nervous. I mean, everybody's nervous when they start, but just know if you call and reach out for help, we will take care of you. If you don't call and reach out, we don't know that you need it. So everybody in here, when we need something, please let's reach out to somebody and ask. It doesn't matter who it is. We'll get you to where you need to be. So don't be running around, out there scared, not knowing. Give somebody a call. It's easier to fix it on the front end than it is on the back end. So, anybody else?
I want to say, I have two individuals who are here. I want to thank them for coming. Like they're thinking about joining our office. This is Chandria and Ben. So when you see them, say hello.
They got the VIP days.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm thankful to Miss Tammy Mills. Because she helped my daughter and my son-in-law get finance.
We have that over there.
She's worked really hard and found a house in East Todd.
Thank
To close at the end of the month. Thank you.
Congratulations to everybody.
She's the best.
Congratulations. They are amazing. They are absolutely amazing and they always go over and above. So yes. Don't put Mama's hand up. I see you back there. If y'all don't know Christy, this is one of my very good friends from. Yes, ma'am. I call that me, and Christy never calls unless she needs you. She will never call you unless she absolutely needs something. And I got a phone call and I was like, oh, it's Christy, gotta get it. She must need something. I pick it up. She's like, this check looks good.
They do, don't they?
It's different. And then she and I started lamenting about, can you believe that we did traditional real estate
But so long.
for, oh, girl, I think I was in it for 27 years. How long? A long, y'all, she did it for a long time. And I don't think either one of us really understood what KW was until we got over here. And we are both extremely thankful and surprised that it's real, y'all. Capping is a real thing and the checks do look wonderful. So anybody else? With
I got one more. I'm sorry. I'm thankful.
Well, no,
I definitely wanted to thank Janetta because
Yes.
she has been instrumental in helping me with the prayers and Pop-Tarts. And we hope that you guys come out. She did a nice decoupage box. So if you do have anybody that you would like to receive, it's private, just put their name in there and we will work on that. But thank you so much
for
for
everybody. So, yes, ma'am.
I'm very thankful that I taught my daughter the benefits of real estate. At 23 years old, her and her new husband. are closing today on the introduction.
And that doesn't happen for a lot of 23 years, so you made an impact. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Oh, there's 28, she better get off the step. And we're not gonna talk about my son, so. Anybody else have something that they're grateful for? I'm grateful for all of you being here today, so. Here we go. We would like to thank house call. Drew's, Mr. Drew in the house here. House here. I'm not Drew. I know that was when I was back there talking to you. I didn't even know that was you. I'm just talking about the food and all the stuff. So thank you for lunch.
Of course, yeah. So I'm Hal and I'm Drew's office manager. So if you guys call the number that's right here, I would be the one answering. We have a 24 to 48 hour scheduling service. So if you call me today, I can get you in tomorrow. Or I could get you in the next day, but usually we try to get you in the next day. Or if you even text me at 10 o'clock at night, I might reply back and say, I do have tomorrow in the afternoon. So we try to get you in the schedule as soon as possible. We cover the entire state. So if you have a buyer that's out in Savannah, Macon, Blue Ridge, we go out there, no extra cost. So the cost that's in our brochure, that's the cost that we charge. We provide all the tests that you can think of. We do air sampling for mold, we do fluoroscope, we do radon test, we do termite letters, we do all of that. So our reports are also sent on the same day. So if we have an inspection at 9 a.m., you can get a lookout for your report around noon on the same day. Does anybody have questions for me, baby? No? I do see a lot of people that I know.
Good. And I'll say this, you guys know how good house call is, but it's always good to work with somebody you have a personal relationship with. Because when you need that inspection, you know, by the end of the day or
And we also,
something else done.
we also have at least one person on call on holidays. So
Oh.
if there's an emergency that you just went on a contract and the next day is Father's Day or Mother's Day or whatever, you know, we try to have at least one person that does work that day. Even if it's half a day, we can still at least put one inspection or two inspections on that day.
What?
So,
Spell your first name for me.
PAU.
P-A-U.
Paulina.
Paula, pero me dicen Pau.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
But yeah, I also speak Spanish if anybody needs, somebody to be for a walkthrough. And they only need Spanish speaking, I do go to properties with the inspector and help interpret as well. I speak a little bit of Portuguese as well, so I can do the same thing for Portuguese.
Awesome, look at you, doing all the things. Yeah. Have a question?
So I'll be here for a little bit.
Thank you, and thank you for lunch.
Of course, yeah,
We love
absolutely.
it. Yeah, we appreciate it. Oh, it's fine. Alliance partners, there's
Hi, guys.
a lot of things happening in the mortgage industry.
Mortgage industry,
What's
what's going
up?
on? So we had some improvements in rates last week. We saw a little bit of an increase on Friday. And again, CPI reports coming out tomorrow, and actually the Fed is meeting this afternoon. So what can we anticipate? We don't believe the Fed are going to cut rates. We don't anticipate a hike, we're hoping. But I wanted to be sure to get you guys this graph. It's pretty interesting because if you look at in October of 2023, that's where we hit the high, right? We were at 8%, right? But as of today, we're kind of hovering over the high sixes, low sevens. And even with the increase that we got on Friday, we're not even halfway back to the highest point over last month. So rates are good, you guys. I want to make sure that you remind your folks, especially if they're wanting to wait, you know, there's really no reason to wait. We need to really understand their numbers and look at the possibility of them being able to qualify now with the interest rates where they are, knowing that most every program out there, there's no prepayment penalty. So we'll be able to get them and refinance them down the road. If they land up closing with us, then we can also save them money on their refinance down the road as well. And that's going to be pretty much for most of your lenders, but we encourage them to look at what they're qualified for. If they want to buy down their rate permanently, what does that look like in discount points? Everybody understands discount points is a one-time fee at closing, and that buys down your interest rate. But we're having deeper conversations with them, knowing that we're hoping to anticipate these interest rates to come down, maybe lower sixes, high fives sometime in 2025. I'm making sure that they're going to recoup that cost. So we're looking at what that difference in monthly payment is and really making sure that they understand their numbers. It's so important that they understand, one, the total costs involved, and two, what that looks like and breaks down. So we always send them before
even send them a pre-approval letter, we're diving into an estimated closing cost worksheet that breaks down all of that cost. We pull in the local attorney's fees, Georgia state tax fees, like we're making sure they have all those numbers before just simply pushing a pre-approval letter. The last thing you want is a first-time home buyer to get their pre-approval letter, be extremely excited, and they don't even know what they're really involved with. And I've had that happen many times where a loan officer won't push them their pre-approval letter. They're even not really sure what their monthly payment consists of. And when they get that, they're like, I can't afford this payment. I don't understand. So we kind of give them the numbers up front, gives them time to digest what they're looking for, what they can anticipate. So it's so important that they have a deeper consultation with the loan officer so that they're comfortable and they understand that. So anytime you guys have questions, and even if they're not using this, Kathy and I always stress, if you've got a worksheet and you're just not sure and they want a second opinion, we're here for y'all. We want to make sure we understand that. And a lot of times when we dive into even Rocket Mortgage because they'll advertise a lot lower rate, but then you realize they're paying 3 discount points.
Yeah.
So it's super important that you guys are aware of that. If you guys are going to be around, I'm going to be in this room at 1 o'clock today, and we're going to kind of deep dive into VA financing. So
changes.
hopefully you guys can join me for that. And I think we're also going to have it up on Zoom.
Yeah.
So, but thank you all so much. We appreciate you.
You guys. Y'all have a lot of changes on VA loan financing. So if you have anybody who is a VA, you might want to be here at 1 o'clock. You know what Tammy has to say. So, Michael and Granny, yeah, I know she's got something that Amy has on the district.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I'm Amy Smading with McMichael and Gray. So I put one sheet on every table, so y'all may need to share with your neighbor. But I just wanted to get y'all familiar with some more forms. I know I did one last time I was up here, but I just want to make sure that when you get to closing, you're familiar with some of these forms. So this one right here is a hold harmless for an HOA. So what this is basically when we have the title examination pulled, it's going to tell us if there's an HOA or if there's not an HOA. We also, when we send out the seller information forms, have a section there where they say, yes, it is, or it is not an HOA. Here's the contact information if it is. Sometimes though, there will be an HOA pulling on title that may not actually be an active HOA. It may not be a mandatory HOA, or it may never have gotten completely set up. That's where this comes into play. So if we see that pulling on title, we're going to have to confirm, is there an active HOA? Are there dues? Was it ever set up? But if that was not the case, we have your client, actually all parties, sign this at closing. And basically it's just confirming that there's not an active HOA, there's no dues, all that kind of fun jazz. We can change the wording depending on the situation. But if you get this pulling at your closing, that's what it is. Always give us a call if you have any specific questions on it, but I just wanted y'all familiar with it. And also want to talk about one other thing with HOAs. If there's any kind of pending violations on the property, the client needs to start working on that immediately once they're aware of that, especially if they're trying to close soon. But I want to give y'all an example of one that actually was not able to be resolved prior to closing, and it was actually okay, but there was a few caveats to that. Had one closing a couple weeks ago where they had a pending violation because the grass had bald spots in it. Basically, they wanted the grass to grow, and that was when they would be able to not be in violation. We cannot wait for grass to grow to close, typically. So in that situation, great, and that was a first for me. They had, this is the violation, there's bald spots in the grass. And at that point, I was like, I want to see the rest of this neighborhood because my house couldn't close right now. There's a couple of spots in there that we have trouble with. But basically what happens in that situation, it's not very common, is that we had to confirm with the HOA that there's no fine associated with it. And basically that there's not going to be a fine. So basically that there's no money involved. That would be an issue going forward for the buyer. They did confirm that there was no fine associated with it. It's just they couldn't release that until those patches had grown and the grass was even or whatever.
What neighborhood was that?
I can look on my software, let you know. That's not personal information, so I can do that because it's a subdivision.
I have one like that, and it was Bridge Mill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a first for me, but I can definitely look at the subdivision and let you know.
But that's again, not a super common thing. Typically, when there's a violation, there's gonna be fines associated. And in that case, we do have to have that cleared, all fines paid and everything prior to closing, otherwise that is an issue. This one was a one-off, but if y'all see anything funky like that, make sure your client at least starts the process of getting that fixed, so that that pending violation can be released off the property so we can close. Y'all have any?
I have a question. What's the best way? So if I'm talking to the homeowner's like, I don't know, there's nothing, I promise, and there's something. What's the best way, just like contacting, who should contact the HOA?
So the homeowner really needs to be the one. to
And if they
contact.
don't tell you the truth, and I hate to say that, but it happens all with condos and things like that. So if they don't tell you the truth, who needs to reach out to the HOA?
At that point, it depends on at what point we're talking about. So if they're under contract, where the closing attorney is gonna order the HOA letter, and that's gonna show us the violation. So at that point, we're gonna loop y'all in as well. So you would know at that point,
Perfect.
depending on what it is, at that point, it could, if it's a week prior to closing and it's something that's gonna take a little bit longer.
Right.
Then you run into an issue there, but otherwise, we're not gonna know if they're lying to y'all, hopefully they're not.
I hate that, but actually, we've all been through it. We all know that it happens. And sometimes it's an innocent thing. They don't
They
know.
may not know, but yeah.
So you
it's-
guys do send the letter.
Yeah, we'll see that on the letter and we're gonna notify, definitely if y'all are the listing agent, we're gonna notify y'all first, hey, this is pulling, this is showing a violation, this needs to be cleared. And just to clarify too, a pending violation is different than like late HOA dues. If your client has late HOA dues or there's an outstanding balance or something like that, we actually are going to recommend do not pay that. And the reason being is because we're gonna collect that on the closing statement. If they go ahead and pay something that's showing on that HOA letter as something that's like a late fee or a violation or whatever, that could potentially delay closing unless they're okay with us double collecting it. Because at that point, we have to collect whatever's listed on that HOA letter. If they go and pay, let's say it's $1,000 unpaid balance from dues, and then we're collecting on the settlement statement, we have to confirm with a new HOA letter or get something in writing from the HOA that, hey, yes, they paid it, you don't need to collect that at closing. That makes sense?
Good to know.
So yeah, just keep that in mind going forward too. But again, if y'all have specific questions, always give us a call. I'm happy to work through it with y'all, see what we've got going on. But yeah, if y'all have anything, let me know. And we're looking forward to
Thank
closing
you.
with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good information.
Let's see, I'm gonna see Kelly running around today. No, she's not here today. And Tammy was here last week, but she did give us a few things to think about with Georgia Natural Gas. Rebate programs for both you and your customers. If you need the links, they will be in the slide that will be sent out after the meeting. Of equity, but look who it is, our favorite person. Diane Endeavors, because I know she's got something to show us today. What you got,
I
Shannon?
have some samples for you guys today. So, hey guys, if you were here last week, I had kind of hinted at our fun summer mailer. I did, I'm so sorry. But I have some today, and so for the month of June, we are doing our 4th of July firework glasses. I'm gonna pass out some samples. If you guys have never used firework glasses, they are actually super cool. So they're used to see the fireworks, and then we can actually give it that way. To see the fireworks, they add a new layer to anything. And it honestly adds a whole different experience to seeing fireworks. So we are offering to send these out to either your farm or your sphere of influence, and those are going to be $3.50 each. But that's not all. So last week, as I said,
But wait,
there's
there's
more.
more.
So last week I told you guys I had to keep everything secret, which I hate doing for you, but there was a reason for that. So we are also launching our monthly mailer list. If you guys are wondering what that is, so here at Diane Endeavors, we've had a lot of agents come to us with the issue of, hey, like, I want to sit and plan my entire mailers from January all the way to December. I need them done. Like, otherwise, when I reach out to you guys each month, it's either too late or too early. Like, I just can't get the timing right. The issue with trying to plan out your entire 36 touch in January is that trends constantly change. It's great to send out a stat card in July till you get the July stats and they don't look good. So here at Diane Endeavors, we've created a solution for that issue for you guys. So it's not a service. We don't charge you for it. You just come talk to me or one of my teammates. We sit down for you guys for like 5 minutes. I get your contact information. I get whether you want to send to your farmer's sphere of influence, and I either pull that list or I either get it from you. And then each month I reach out. I'm like, hey guys, here's what we have. What would you like? You're like, I love postcard A. I put your information on it. It goes out to the list. You're done. You don't have to think about it. So we've had kind of like a little bit of a beta program. We haven't actually announced it. This is our first announcement to any of our offices about it. So I'm super excited. Yes. And basically, so far with our betas, I would say I send about either text people get 2 texts from me or email people get 2 emails, and their stuff is sent out typically same or next day from that initial message. So it makes it super easy for you guys. If you don't like what's going on, I can work with you. And I also send gentle reminders in case you just missed my email the first time or you have a lot of things going on. So that way it takes the responsibility out of your hands and puts it into ours.
And can they skip a month if they want to? I mean, is it, so you're just reaching out saying, hey, it's time, this is available, and I can say, nah, not this month, or I like this one. or-
Exactly. You're not tied to anything. I'm not committing into you. There's no secret contract or anything. It's just a gentle reminder each month of like, hey, are we sending out to your database? And if so, like, here are some options. And we're just trying to make it easier for you guys.
And that's a great way to stay top of mind for all of your people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions or any clarification I can answer for you guys?
There could be like information about that, like somewhere.
I can send you guys information.
Just so-
Yeah. I can always reach out to you guys with information. We don't have like a big announcement yet going on. We're just all gonna like kind of let the offices know. But if you guys do have any questions or come up with anything, I'm always here after team meeting and I would love to talk to you about it.
Chandler, let's work on an email that from Diane Endeavors, one email that just says, hey, we've got this program. If you're interested in knowing more about it, you know, you can do this. But let's just send one for all the people that are not in the meeting today.
Yeah,
Let's you and I'll work on that together.
perfect. We can do that.
Perfect. Thank you, Chandler. We appreciate you. And now we have Janelle, y'all, we have a surprise guest today. But come on, Janelle. She is with Operation Hope, and they are a nonprofit credit repair. We have talked to Tammy and Kathy, and there's no friction between the two of us, but she is going to tell us what she does and how she can help her clients.
Yeah, hello everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm Jamil and I'm happy to be here with you today. I work for a nonprofit organization called Operation Hope. And Operation Hope, has anyone ever heard of Operation Hope? No?
No.
Well.
How did you-
Tell you about it. Operation Hope is a nonprofit organization that teaches people about financial literacy. And we really serve, or we really aim to teach the underserved communities. Because unfortunately, finance and financial literacy is not taught in schools. So what I do for my clients, well, let's start with the organization. The organization is broke down in like 3 separate departments. First, you have credit and money management, and that's what I am. I'm a financial well-being coach or / credit and money management coach. So when people want to purchase a home, and everybody wants to buy a home, right? But no one really, sometimes a lot of people don't know where to start because financial literacy is not taught. So they come to me and I take a look at their credit. We do a soft pull on your TransUnion credit report. It has no impact on the credit score. It lets me see where you stand. And then once I see where you stand, then I understand where I need to guide you. So I help people whether if they're in the position to negotiate settlements, then I may tell them, hey, you want to call your creditor and negotiate a settlement. If they're not in the position, then I let them know that we can do a dispute. So I walk them through the process of disputing what's on their credit. And then I help them to create a budget so they can understand or create a saving strategy so that they can have money for down payment and closing costs and so forth. The second part of the organization is a home ownership department, and that coach does provide the 8-hour course that's mandatory in order to close on a home, the first-time home buyer course. And we're just out in the community teaching people about the organization and informing people and connecting them with different lenders or down payment assistance. We have lots of partnerships. We have a huge one with Invest Atlanta. And then the last part is the small business program. So for people that want to start a business and they just don't know how, we have a coach that helps them with the tools, the resources to start a business. So it's a huge organization. It's broken down to 3 separate departments. Like I said, I do credit and money management to help people understand credit, the components of credit, and better manage their money. And that's about all. Let me know if y'all have any questions.
I have a question. How do you guys fare with NACA? So do you compare to NACA?
Tell us what that is, because not everybody.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you want to tell them what NACA is,
Okay.
but we don't, well, actually, I've heard of NACA.
Okay,
I don't know what it is either.
So NACA is a neighborhood association and they also help with credit repair. They help individuals who may not be able to purchase a home. They don't go based on your FICO score, but they also provide avenues for credit repair and getting your down payment resources. So I didn't know if you guys were comparable to that or not.
No, not
It
at
sounds
all.
like they offer a couple more,
Yeah.
so like they're more all-inclusive.
That's how
type of
NACA
service.
is.
Yeah,
NACA.
maybe NACA is one of our competitors, but at this point, we're just trying to help everybody get in the door, right?
Exactly.
I left out a big piece of information, but the services that we offer are absolutely free.
Yeah.
So when you send your clients to me for credit repair, money management, information tools, resources, they're not paying for anything. It's just, we're serving the community.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. That is, go ahead. Go ahead.
So do you actually do the loans or you're just wrapping them together?
She does.
I don't do loans at all
No.
whatsoever.
NACA
NACA
actually
does
does loans.
Yeah.
And they're not referable to listing agents, but anyway, so NACA actually can do loans where they're not, they're helping.
Yep.
As you know, we have our Onward over here, and Onward can help with credit repair as well. So what we really got is 3 different alternatives that you guys can use for your clients to reach out to and whoever they're the most comfortable with. So thank you.
All
We
right.
thank you for coming all the way out here and being here. So, and her information is gonna be in the slide deck that you guys are going to receive, so. And there she is. Tools to run your business. You guys, please check out all these chart masters that came out this week. So you guys have a bunch of new numbers to send to your people and share. We have our back to school backpack drive still going on. It goes on till June 30th of 2024. There's a box out there for supplies every morning, except for Tuesdays. We have mastering the market of the moment. This is a great call to be on. They talk about new listings, open houses, any problems that you're having with your listing. If you've got a listing, you can't figure out why that thing is not moving because you've done everything right. Liam and I went through this last week with this house where Liam was telling them exactly what they needed to do to sell the house. And they were like, I don't think so. So it got difficult. This would be a great place to discuss a situation like that. So this is every morning except for Tuesdays. This class is tomorrow. Okay, if you are a new agent in this office, you need to be here in person only in the Roswell training room. That is right here. This is FMLS basics. All right. We all get on FMLS. We all dink around with it. You know, we get done what we need to get done. But there's so much more y'all can do with FMLS. So if you are here, we would love for you to attend this. You have to have a minimum. I forget what the minimum is. I'm sure we'll need it. But if you can attend, we would love for you to do that. Featured events, Miss Heather Mack, because I can't say her new last name now. Heather Mack, is going to be doing open houses and door knocking on Thursday. And then on next Monday, we're going to have luxury home inspections for those of us who work in the luxury price range. On September 18th, I'm probably gonna regret announcing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. On September 18th, for our luxury agents only, Kay Evans is going to be here. And she is going to be talking about the Live Luxury break. So for those of you who work in that upper price range and who are our luxury agents, please try to be here to support Kay. It's a very big deal to get her to come to our market center. We have career day coming up on Thursday. That's this week. That's this week. Do you have anybody who you know who wants to get into real estate? Have them tune in there and Miss Alicia will take care of them. Raven has worked so hard, y'all. I cannot even tell you all the machinations and back end maneuvering that have gone on to get Ignite back on our calendar for July. New agents who have not yet taken Ignite, this is your post licensing course. Sign up for this. It's going to be happening right here. So we are very excited and we thank you. That was not easy. So thank you for putting all that together for us. Yeah. John Serrano, wait, John, look, I actually wrote things down. So I wouldn't mess it up when I was introducing it.
You won't sign it, isn't it?
And this cracks well. What's
You can define why you're talking about.
I'm just gonna
Need a theme song.
I have the tiger.
I have the tiger. Wait, could you sing? Do you mind?
Most one.
So, y'all, John Serrano, our very own John Serrano, over 10 years in the real estate industry, team leader of Atlanta Property Professionals, who last year became what? An MREA team. We are very, very proud of them. He is a MAX coach. He is an ALC member. He is John Serrano, and he is going to come up and talk about team dynamics today. So, is that enough? Do you need more?
Here, well, let Tracy do it.
It's such a man thing to do.
No, it's just, it's
We've
in
done this before.
person.
Oh, you have a team,
Yeah.
you have a team dynamic. Okay.
All right. I'm here for two reasons. One, Julie wanted me to have a conversation with you guys about what it's like to be on a team and to join a team. And I roll that into the top 10 reasons why most agents fail. Because what I found as being part of a team is that I've elevated my success faster, and my team members, along with me, are able to overcome the 10 reasons why most agents fail together in a clear way. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a better understanding about why agents are not making it, because I don't know if you guys know this, but about 70% of all agents after the end of 5 years don't have their license any longer. So if you just got your license in 5 years, if you're still around, you'll be among a small group of people that have made it, right? Because this is tough business, right? Because where's your paycheck coming from next week, right? It's tough business to get by. So let's go to the next slide. Here's the 10 reasons. I like to say people are interested and not committed. So in other words, I've got into real estate because I watched an HGTV show and it looks really simple. They showed 3 homes. They said, well, okay, which one do you like the best? And great, it's all over. At the end of the episode, they move on to the next client, right? You watch them back to back. That's being interested in real estate. If I asked you, why do you want to be in real estate? And you said, because I like houses, you probably answered wrong. You can change that. Start liking people, because that's what you're in the people business, right? Go to the next one. You're not being strategic. Now, here's where a team could help. When I say team too, team could also be joining PC, hiring a coach, right? Getting part of a group of people just around you and just being together and getting, working on your plans together, or actually joining a team. Now, here's the other thing. You're saying to yourself right now, I'm not going to pay you a split. Why am I going to give you my money? If you're thinking about a percentage, if you're so focused on why joining a team, it's all about the percentage. Don't think about the percentage, because you didn't think about the percentage when you joined KW over the competitor, like virtual reality, virtual property, whatever they are, right? Where they say, oh, no fees, like no percentage, no split. You didn't join that company because you knew you weren't going to get any value for what KW has, right? So think about it. What value do I get from a team? Don't think about the percentage. Think about what my total net income is going to be. So our agents are making over $100,000 a year on a good year, right? And they're not so focused on the value of percentage. Also, the other piece too here is the money piece about what you're spending, right? So no matter what, you're going to spend money being an individual agent trying to market your business. And this is getting tougher and tougher and tougher to get business, and you have to spend a little bit more money on your business to have it grow. A team is going to absorb all those expenses. So for us, and I know this is our team, and I want to speak for all teams as well too here today, that we're spending at about $75,000 per agent per year. That's our expenditure that comes back your way in value. So just think about that. All right. Fear of making mistakes, desire to look good. Who doesn't care if they look stupid? Me. So you don't want to walk into a client or be in front of a client looking dumb and saying dumb things, but you've got to fail forward. And having people around you that can help you fail forward, come back, realize if I did something wrong, I made a mistake, who do I come back and bounce that off of now? Right? If you're all on your own, you're just sitting there at night just thinking, how do I recover from this thing, right? But if you've got somebody around you, a team around you, this office is your team as well, you could bounce that off too. Let's go to the next one. Having no or the wrong model. This is the biggest one, I think, of all, the whole thing. So
You mean they can't just wing it, John?
can't wing it. So I went to Mega Camp about 7 or 8 years ago. It was my first Mega Camp, and Gary Keller is up on stage. You guys know who Gary Keller is? Okay, all right. So
I have done that before.
Deborah and Mark here on my team, they're here. They accuse me of idol worship for Gary. They say you just worship the guy too much. Well, I don't worship Gary Keller, but I do appreciate what he's done. And what he said during one of those meetings, back then, there was like, Zillow was coming in and OfferPad was coming in. All these online aggregators were coming in trying to steal our business, right? And we were all sitting there going, this is the end of real estate, because everybody's going to be clicking a button in Zillow, and that's going to be the end of us right here. And he sat there and he said, you think I haven't thought about that before? And that made me feel good to think about. We have such a great leader who's giving us these models and systems and he's got a lot of people around him to bring it that way, that they've already thought about those models and how it would work, and could they apply to us at Keller Williams. And so when the next thing pops up, they've already strategically thought about it. Trust me, they're thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of everybody else that's out there. And we're at the forefront in the best company in the world. So following the model that we have at Keller Williams, and the model is the book. It's called $1 Million Real Estate Agent. It's a red book. It's our guide. It's our guidebook, right? It's right there. So everything you're going to learn at Ignite, if you're a brand new agent, we're going to take you through all those steps of MREA, right? And if who went to Value Squared last week? A couple people went to Value Squared last week. You just saw the model again, right? You just see it over and over again. You stick to a model, right? If you don't have a model, strategic model, a team can get that to you. PC coaching can get that to you. Hiring a coach can get you that model, right? Following the correct model is also very important, right? And I follow the model that's laid out by Keller Williams because of where we are as a company. So having the right model is also very important as well.
We literally wrote the book.
We wrote the book on real estate. I have a friend that has a very successful business. He's a broker in Brooklyn, New York, and he's not Keller Williams. He's one of our competitors, and he constantly quotes MREA. If you don't know this, Mark Spain was also a Keller Williams agent. He grows his business, and then anytime I talk to an agent at Mark Spain, they're speaking the same language we're speaking, because Mark built his business off of the models here too. Right. All right. Your gas station's only open for an hour per day. All right. So, what are the work hours for a real estate agent?
Yeah.
They could be, but generally, if you're putting in 8 hours a day as a real estate agent, like a normal human being that goes to work from 8 to 5 all across the great United States of America, you'll be successful. I think what happens for most people is you join real estate for freedom. You said, I don't want to be working for someone else. And your perception of freedom was that I'm going to get to do what I want to do during the day, right? And that's fine. That is a degree of freedom, but that kind of freedom also handcuffs you from making a living so that you can do what you really want to do. Because at some point, you're gonna have to go back and get a job if you live under those circumstances, right? I had a conversation with a team member of mine several years ago who was living this life of freedom, who wasn't coming to work, who wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I said, can you grind it out for 4 or 5 hours a day and just do your job? And they weren't, and he admitted he wasn't. So what are your kids doing right now? They were at school grinding it out. I'm like, can you just work a little bit harder than your children? So your children are putting in 8 hours a day. Can you put 8 hours a day? So hopefully that's that evil, my mean Mr. Rogers thing coming out. So, you got to put the time in. And what a team does give to you, that gives you that accountability to make sure you're putting that time in. Right? And where the accountability comes from on a good team, it comes from you being accountable to your other teammates, not the boss of the team or anything like that, right? Let's go to the next one. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 mentality. So you said it, you said 24/7, right? So your business is open generally 24/7, but you can time block your personal time in there. There's ways to do that. But you have to also understand that this business is nights and weekends mostly, right? So again, if you came into this thing with the idea that I don't like to work nights and weekends, you're gonna have to break that cycle, right? Doesn't mean you can't not go to church every Sunday. Or if your kids got ball games on Saturday morning, you don't have to miss them. You just gotta schedule around it, but you just gotta know you're working on the weekends. And you're working on evenings, right? So again, after the end of 5 years, a couple of years into it, agents come back and they say, this weekend thing doesn't work for me. You got to know that going in. Got to make peace with that. Here's the other person you got to make peace with on that time. Your spouse, significant other, and your kids also have to make peace with you not being around on the weekends and nights all the time. Right? So you have to make peace with that whole thing. Right?
You mean we can't play golf all weekend?
You can play golf on.
He'll just come on
You can
in?
play golf. You can play golf on Friday if you time block it in. You can play golf on Saturday too, but you've got to time block it in, get your work done, right? Go. No sales swagger. Who came into real estate and never worked a sales job before? A lot of people did, right? The very successful people did, right? One of our most successful people in the GLG, Leslie Peters, was a teacher before she joined. I think there's some other stories about people. A lot of successful. Joanne Curtin was also a teacher before she there's no, you don't necessarily, so having a sales background coming into real estate is a big leg up, but you don't have to necessarily have to have a sales background, but you have to get it. You have to understand sales. You have to understand the whole thing. I know using the word sales and saying you're a salesperson is like a bad word sometimes. We say, no, we're consultants. Right? I just prefer to use the word where we can be salespeople at sometimes, not a bad thing. Especially now because we really have to negotiate with a lot of entities right now, not only our buyers and sellers, not only the other agents, but our buyers and sellers. You have to have some sales swagger to learn how to negotiate. Where do you get that from? Right? You have to have people around you to get that, right? You have to join PC coaching, hire a coach, join a team. You have to be connected with someone to help you get there and help get better at it, right? It's the thing you've got to work on constantly too. So working on your sales swagger, your salesmanship is something that is a lifelong pursuit. It always, your scripts always have to get better. What comes out of your mouth always has to get better. So, who was afraid to make their first phone call when somebody said, go out and get the business and make your first phone call? I was, right? You have to call your family and friends, right? The reason why you had that nervousness was because you didn't know what to say. If you know what to say and you practice it, then the nervousness goes away. Right? Going through BOLD, another team activity you can do where you're learning how to learn your sales swagger. No goal broken into numbers that can be measured. Right? I've got that broken down into a long sentence because some of us say, yeah, I've got a goal. I've got a number. Can I measure it? Right? So that's the essence of a goal. It's called a relationship to your numbers, right? You have to have a relationship to it, right? Does everybody know what they want to make this year in dollars? Right? You should, right? How many houses do you have to sell to get there? Do you know that? Okay. How many conversations do you have to sell that many houses? Right? Do you know that? How many hours does it take to have that many conversations? Where am I going to find the people to have the conversations with? What am I going to say? So that here's all your goals broken down along the way. Right? I don't mean to make you feel like a pit. If you feel a little pit in your stomach, that's okay. So I want to make sure the tension holds things up and pressure breaks, right? So pressure breaks a bridge, but tension holds it up. If you feel a little bit tension right now, that's okay. Just know, okay, I've got to work on this. So I have to have the goal. I have to have it broken down. I have to understand how many people I've got to talk to so that after this meeting is over at 12:30, what am I going to do to move my business forward? So if I know I've got to sell 50 houses this year, I've got to sell one this week. How many conversations do I have to have this week? Right, who am I going to talk to and what am I going to say? All right. 4 schedule or week routines. All right. Get around people that have strong schedules and strong routines and get to understand how they get that done. Right. So I'm still in production. I help coach and lead our team and get all their marketing out, do all that. I'm a MAPS coach as well. And I still am able to get out of the office by 4 o'clock today to go pick my son up from driver's ed. Right. And this weekend, I'm committed to going to a pool party on Saturday from 1 to 5. Right. It's all in there. But I could tell you what's also in there is all my other time block stuff, all the stuff that get done. Right. Get around people who know how to do that and that can train you how to do that. Get your schedule. Gary, so my mentor, Gary Keller, he says, show me your calendar and I'll show you if you're successful. If you opened up your calendar right now, okay, here's another tension moment in your son. If you opened up your calendar right now, how many hours do you have dedicated to growing your business this week? Can you identify the hours on your calendar right now? Right, just answer that for yourself. If you don't, get it on your calendar, get it done. All right. Last one is the lack of financial management. Do you have a P&L? Do you know how much you're spending? You know how much you're taking in? You should have this for your home to understand how to stay out of debt. But financial management is very important. So understanding how many dollars I'm spending, how many dollars I need to spend to earn it. So part of your plan should say, here's my goal, big goal for the year, right? Here's how many houses I have to sell. Here's how many conversations I need to have. Here's how many dollars I need to spend per conversation. Here's how many dollars I need to spend per home. So you need to understand the dollars behind it, right? Do you have that?
You have money set aside for the team, right? That you have team members set aside for marketing.
So
An amount of money set aside for each team member for marketing and everything like that.
Oh.
So you come up with a whole bunch of
yes,
plans.
we'll cover all this. So.
Yeah.
So a lot of these 10 things, right? If you're sitting here feeling tension, what do I do? So what we do as a team, what a lot of teams do is they take a lot of this tension off you. They're going to do the training. Go back to slide 1, where it has all the things listed down. So we want to make sure. So if you're interested and not committed, right? I mean, no team can help you with that. If you're here, you're sitting in this room, you're committed. That's a great thing, right? There's a lot of agents that are not here right now. Doesn't mean they're not committed, but you're committed, right? We can help you with your strategy. So here's the thing the team does. Here's the thing that PC coaching does as well. Here's what a thing of hiring a coach can do if the team doesn't work for you. Here's what they work. Being strategic. So a team has a strategic plan of where they want to be and how you fit into that strategic plan. That's what the team does for you, right? So the plan is set. we take what your goal is, plug that in, and that becomes part of our strategy. So your strategy becomes part of the team strategy. So what you're working with when you join a team is somebody that you're basically hiring to have a strategic vision of where the future is going. Right? So you just focus on getting the business, servicing the business, and you have that other person ahead of you being the strategic head of the business. Doesn't mean that you can't help bring strategy. Deborah and Marquia help bring strategy all the time to the team and help grow the team. Fear of making mistakes, desire to look good, right? What a team can do for you there is just help you through those moments where something went wrong, right? I had my biggest snafu of the year, we talked about this, was a pool for my buy. My buy brought home with a pool, and the pool had a massive leak in it, and we didn't know it. And it was going to cost tens and tens of thousands of dollars to fix the pool, right? So I learned from my mistake, and then I got to share that mistake and how to rectify that for the next time with my team. And we got forward, and we all get to share those failure forward things together, right? Wrong or no model, right? Obviously, joining a team, joining the right team, they're going to have a strategic model to follow. And all you've got to do is plug yourself into that model, right? Gas station only open for an hour a day, hour per week. If you want to pick a team and you walk around the office and if their doors always closed with the light off, it's probably not the right team you want to join, right? Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 mentality. Join a team with passion for what they do, that loves what they do. Make sure you find a team that really does that and matches your passion as well, right? No sales swagger. We constantly, as a team, work on our sales swagger. We're constantly talking about scripts and role plays and how to do that, right? Now, again, if a team is not for you, it's okay. I'm not here to push you to join a team. I really want you to understand what a team does. All this stuff is still available for you because you're part of this larger team that's this office, right? So every day, except for Tuesday, Loredana's out there helping you with your sales swagger every morning, right? Every Tuesday, we're in this room giving you some more training to help you fail forward, right? That failure forward. The strategic model is there. Get a coach. You have to have a coach or somebody helping you with that strategic model, right? There's a lot of coaching. So I'm also promoting MAPS. So I'm a MAPS coach. MAPS stands for Mega Agent Productivity Systems. So it's part of the Keller Williams system. I'm a certified coach with them. There's coaching programs, whether you've just started as an agent, all the way up to if you're a team leader, that Julie's got a coach as well, right? Guess what? You ever hear this name, Jason Giambi? We'll just use this one, it sticks in my head. Jason Giambi was the highest paid baseball player back in the 90s. He had moved from the A's to the Yankees. It's okay if you don't know his name, it's fine. But he was getting paid like something crazy, like $9 million a year. Right, that is crazy because like the highest paid baseball player is getting like $55 million a year now, something crazy. But he was the highest. And he was like this big star. So what a sport you follow? He's just a major star, right? So he came from the Oakland A's, and the evil Yankees stole him and took him over to the Yankees in New York. And I happened to be in New York at the time. I grew up there. I was a lifelong baseball fan of the Yankees. So I went to his first game. I happened to be there in the spring. It was his first home game with the Yankees. He was there. And if you guys ever been to a Braves game, before the game, you could walk down close to the field and you could watch the players warm up and stuff and, check out Dabney Coleman, stuff like that. So you're smiling.
I'm a New Englander. I'm a sports girl. Sorry.
So anyway, you get down there and you can check them all out. And there was Jason, he's the highest paid player, the most famous player at the time on the field. And he's standing on the side and he's a first baseman, but he's, one of the fielders. He had his glove on and he's looking all cool and everything. And there's a coach standing about 5 feet away from him, just throwing little ground balls like that. So he'd pick them up, toss them back to the coach, right? And if you ever played Little League or watched Little League or watch any of your kids play Little League, it's the first thing you're teaching your kid is how to throw that little ground ball, right? So here, it just struck me from then till now about what coaching does for you. Here's the guy working he's the highest paid baseball player at the time. the equivalent of making $50 million now. Here he is on standing before the game, 5 feet away from a coach. He's just taking little dink ground balls like that from the coach, right? And just, again, how important the coaching was to him, just to work on the basics over and over and over again, right? He probably, if he never did that drill ever again in his life, he'd probably still be a pretty good baseball player. But he knew, I think, before every game, if he just had his hand-eye coordination just worked on a little bit more, worked on this little drill, and he had a coach, somebody do it, helping him do it. He didn't feel like an idiot in front of the whole crowd doing this little drill. He knew that that would make him better. Right? No goal broken into numbers. Hey, we've got the goal. We know what your goal is. You plug your goal in as a team, and the team takes care of that for you. Poor schedule, weak routines. Your accountability to your teammates is really important. I know Marquis and Deborah are here today, supporting each other because they're accountable to each other, right? Because Deborah walks in and goes, "Where is everybody?" Molly walks in and goes, "Where is everybody?" And they're accountable to each other. And that's very important. If you need a little bit of push on that end, a team could be for you to help you on that push on accountability, right? And a lack of financial management, guess what? You don't have to have a P&L. You don't have to worry about the money. You don't have to worry about your 36 touch. Diane and Deborah came in here and you probably said, well, how much is that going to cost? Putting that all together, right? You don't have to worry about all that because we take on all your expenses and it's all being handled for you. And you just have to worry about your net paycheck and what you're going to do with that, which we want you to make sure you worry about that too. Right? Okay, so here are the 5 things or a few things that I wrote them down. The 4 things that people always come to your mind, right? What about the splits? And you're going to take my money. Again, if it's about a percentage, don't think about the percentage, think about what I can gain from the whole thing. You're going to steal my business. You're taking my SOI, you're marketing to my SOI. Your SOI, it comes in and it goes back out with you. We have no interest in stealing your business once you leave the team, that's for sure. We don't want that to happen. And then what about my name and image, and especially on our team? Your image and your name is more important to us than our name because you have to market to the people that you know. So your image and your name and your likeness is the thing that goes out. And then I'm not ready to make such a big commitment. It's probably the biggest one. Guess what? It's not a lifelong sentence. You're not signing your blood away to join the team forever. We want to, if you come on and join, want you to be committed as well, right? But you could leave at any time, right? We want you to leave amicably, but you can leave at any time. Right? I did want to save some time for questions. Go. Oh, I knew you were gonna ask.
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
What's the best thing in life?
We were talking about,
In life,
what's the best in life? What's the best?
that's a big question, Tom, huh?
Here.
Who ever saw Conan the Destroyer? Conan the Barbarian?
The old one or the.
All right, it's to see my enemies defeated. To defeat my enemies, to see them driven before me, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Wow.
It's Conan, it's Conan. So Conan the Barbarian, up to 5 years ago,
Absolutely terrifying.
if you ask Siri, what's best in life, Siri used to say that. They got rid of it. Yeah, they got rid of
It's just like a really abstract term.
Yeah, it got rid of it. I know you were gonna.
So back on track,
Let's
I'm
get
hearing
back on track.
strategy.
Yeah.
Structure, accountability, financial assistance, and coaching is all what you can expect on a team.
Yeah.
And when you're with the market center through the productivity.
Yeah, and I would say, again, this is not a giant advertisement for you joining my team. I didn't want it to become that. I wanted to make sure that what you did leave here today with is the sense that I have to be connected.
Mhm.
That I can't walk out of here tomorrow and not be connected somewhere to something. So, this,
I want to say.
yeah, go ahead,
If
please.
you as an individual agent, if you were going to be an individual agent, which is fantastic and wonderful and all the things, you have got to be connected to us,
Mhm.
your Keller Williams leadership team. Because he is right. If you are not connected to a team of your own or the Keller Williams leadership team, you're gonna feel a little lost. You have to reach out. You have to talk to us. We've got to stay, I gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what I'm doing. That connection absolutely has to be there because this is not a job where y'all show up at 9 o'clock every morning. You stay till 5. We see each other every day. No, we have got to reach out and we have got to have that connectivity if we are all going to be successful. So find a small group. It doesn't have to be a team. You can be an individual agent, and there are a lot of people in here who have their own little small groups that they
Doing
work
ALC
with.
committee.
ALC, I mean, there are a million committees that we can use your help on. Connect to something.
Yeah.
Stay connected.
Take a picture of this because this is so important, because if you could check off every one of those boxes and find the resource to check it off each
You are
of those
gonna be
boxes,
successful.
you will be successful, there's no doubt. Because this is the model right here, right? If I'm doing all these things right, there's a couple of those things you can't, that it's all on you, being interested, not committed, it's on you. But you could also, being connected with a coach, get the passion for this too, because sometimes your passion does wane, right? There are times where you're sitting there and your passion wanes for this business, but then what plugs you back in is your team at times or your coach.
And I heard a lot of you asking, a lot of the newer people asking, because he kept saying PC coaching, PC coaching, PC coaching. What's PC coaching? It's productivity coaching. And we do have a productivity coach in this office. Her name is Carrie Walters. If you would like to know more about productivity coaching, please ask her. Just get connected in some way. And he's not saying you have to join a team to do this. If you are unable to do these things on your own as an individual agent, maybe you should consider joining a team. We want you to be successful. To me, it doesn't matter if you're an individual agent, if you're on a team, but you need to do these things. Markia.
Okay.
Oh, she's
Mark, you want to
telling
remind me?
you.
So we're gonna continue this conversation individually, so if you, yeah, thank you, she gave me the signal. She gave me the signal. If you want to continue this conversation with us on July 11th, right, July 11th?
Yeah.
July 11th from 5 to 7 at a place to be determined, but close by. We're gonna be having an event where you can come meet all of our team members, talk to them. Meet other agents from all over. We're gonna invite agents from everywhere. It's gonna be a little cocktail party we're gonna have a photographer there doing headshots for you. You gotta pay for the headshot, but we'll pay for the photographer's time to be there. But if you want to buy the headshots, you can buy the headshot from the photographer. But if you want to network, it's gonna be, so basically it's a networking event, so you can meet a lot of other agents from the office. Get your headshot done, talk to us more about what the team's like. I would talk to team members of a team because that's the best place to learn from them.
And
Yeah.
keep each other accountable too, without
Yeah.
you even having to do that. So it's like
Yeah.
finding another person in the office, Tuan, I see you with Compaq all the time, and finding another person who just can be there and be like, hey, why aren't you here doing your calls today? Let's do them together.
Yeah.
That's a good way
And
too.
find the right coach, so the right coach, I've had several different coaches before I've landed on some of the better coaches that I've had. I've had to fire some coaches and not been connected to some coaches. I've also been part of other teams. My team has been part of other teams that didn't work. So find where you fit in and make it work. All right,
Absolutely.
got it?
That was perfect.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And I want to say one thing, if you decide that the team is the way to go, let us know. There's something called the KPA. It is a Keller Personality Assessment. I believe. During the KPA, I found out I had no special, facial. I don't have that either. Special facial visualization. I got an absolute 0 on that, and they told me they would love to hire me, but someone else would have to decorate my office. So the KPA will tell you very interesting things about yourself, but can also help you pair up with a team who is looking for exactly what you have to offer. So, any way you guys want to do it, we are here for you, individual, team, just connect with us and we will make it happen together.
And some of the best, most successful people that I realize are those individuals that either have a coach or they have somebody that is holding them accountable. They're the most successful in this industry, and you will see them up on stage with Gary. They either have a coach that's holding them accountable or they have someone that's holding them accountable.
And I think you guys are finding that out. It's interesting watching the newer agents in the office. They start out, they're on their own, and the next couple times you see them, they're with somebody, and then they're with that person again, and they're meeting and they're doing things. So that can really help you out.
But
So-
not just the newer agents, I'm seeing it too with the experienced agents who
Absolutely.
can't break to the next level.
Right.
They're partnering with teams like Adam Sobel.
Yeah.
Or some other people are partnering with teams to break out of that rut
plateau.
that they're
And
at.
we're gonna have a team mixer. We've done that before, and it's where all of our teams who are hiring, they come in, they sit around and you guys come in, it's like, what do they call it? Not insta dating, what's that, like flash dating or whatever, whatever that thing is, that speed dating, it's speed team dating. So you come in and you talk to all the different teams and you see if you make a match with anybody. So, thank you, John. We appreciate you. I did want to mention, we have two, and if there are any more, please let me know. 2 agent caravan previews going on today. We've got one from 11 to 2. This is for Ms. Leflin. Here is the address. She is serving refreshments and there will be a drawing.
Yeah.
And then Alicia has a new listing at 5630 Vineyard Trail in Norcross. What are the times? 12 to 2.
12 to 2, and then
12 to
also, that's being done by a new agent here in the office, Latanya Oliver. They're also gonna have a drawing as well. She's also.
Awesome. Does anybody else have a caravan going on today? No? All right, you guys, that is gonna be it. Again, thank you to John Serrano.
It's on for 700. We dropped it 80,000. So they are very motivated. It's a 4-4. They already have a place that they're going to, and it's in the great community.
Norcross is a hot little area. So, all right, you guys, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. We will meet back here next Tuesday. And, oh, I'm sorry, I left y'all without inspiration. It is never too late to correct course. This is true. Reset, restart, and refocus as many times as you need to, but never give up.
That's
So, take that with you, you guys. Thank you, guys.